Good morning, everyone. Today, I want to discuss a very important question. One of my associate dentists last year asked me a very interesting question. He asked me, in the interviews, what do you look for in an associate, or who is the ideal associate for you? And it was a very complex question. So instead of answering that, I'm actually talk to you about a different topic that ignited ignited in my head after that question, which is how to be a top associate dentist in any practice that you are going to join. For credibility, my name is Khaled. I have been a dentist for 20 years, and I own my own dental practice, Lakeside Dental Spa, for the last 14 years. I took it from 1 chair to 10 chairs over the course of this time, staff with a team of 3 staff members into a team of 40 staff members, including associate dentists, hygienists or health therapists, front office staff members, managers, and myself. During my career, I've dealt with many associates, hiring, interviewing, retaining, feedbacks and warnings, or whatever is required to maintain them in their job. So how to be a top associate in very simple terms, and go ahead, it's unfiltered chats. I don't have anything prepared. So if I start with the interview process, it's very important to start from the interview. Be super honest about anything you want to ask about. Even if you forget during the interview, have a follow-up interview if required. Request another interview, request an email with some questions that you forgot to mention in the interview. It can be very stressful to be in an interview, and you can forget a lot of things. So be very honest. List the things that are going to be deal breaker for you early on. Don't be the associate who will not ask those questions in fear that you might sound difficult. Then you get the job, then 1 or 2 months later, you start asking those questions and demand those questions. This will put the owner and yourself in a very difficult position. You'd rather ask this early in the interview and clarify all these points early in the interview. So be very honest. Be very honest about your intention, whether you are planning to travel, you're planning to open a practice, you're planning to study, you're planning to go to uni. The more honest, the more you're transparent, the better relationship you will have in that practice. Once you join the team, be humble, be respectful, be professional, be on time, be presentable, treat the staff in a good way, treat the staff really nicely, treat the patients really well. Those are, like in a nutshell, very important conducts or behavior that you need to have. Easily said than done, of course. If you have problems or concerns in the practice, make sure you approach it in a professional way. Writing is not too bad, because when you approach things in writing, you will be very careful of what words you are going to use and how you're gonna present your problem. And also, if you can present the problems with solutions, you'll be a top associate. So if you're struggling with certain material, you're struggling with a lab, you're struggling with certain staff member, and you approach the management or the owner with the problem, and also you provide them with some solutions that can work for you, you'll be the top ever associates in the world. Be professional about those problems. Identify those problems early on. What's a deal breaker for you? What problems you can compromise on and keep ongoing the relationship. If you reach the stage where it's not working for you and you think it's the right time for you to exit and you're stuck in a contract, be honest about it. I mean, most owners wouldn't want to keep an associate who unhappy in their team or in their practice. So approach the practice owner or the management, explain that you really want to move away from the practice, but you understand there is a contract. Is there a way to mutually make this work and terminate this early? Most owners of practice will explain to you where they are and how it will affect them financially, and they might be able to compromise in a way. Okay, how about if you stay with me for maybe 3 or 4 months? I'll start putting an ad now. Once I find the replacements, then we can, exit. They will work with you if you're honest and sincere about your struggles and how they cannot accommodate your concerns. The worst you think you can do instead of doing all of that professionally is to whinge and complain to other dental assistants or other dentists in your team. First, they don't have the power to fix your problem. Second, they could have been okay in the practice, and by listening to your problems all the time, they might start seeing the practice a bit in a negative way, and they start to create some negativity towards their job as well. They might start hating the job just because of your concerns. Those are the traits to be a top associate. And as there's a very famous quote is, which says, good staff or good employees or good staff members don't complain, don't whinge, they leave quietly, which means if they reach a stage where it's not working for them, they are very professional and they just leave, they walk away, which is beneficial for them and the team and the staff as well. I'll probably record another video to explain how to be a top owner as well, on par with that. So if you find this information helpful, please like and share it with your friends and colleagues. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel so I can provide you with more content. Thank you so much for listening. It means a lot to me.